All right, this is page number 3 for day 7. This is Guided Practice 8.6. We're going to go through 9, 10, 11, and 12. We'll do 9 and 10 together. You will try 11 and 12 on your own. All right, number 9. What function is best represented in the graph? Write your answer in the form f of x equals mx plus b. And it says type your answer in the box. So on your test, your SOL test, there would be a little box here. We need to type the answer in that box. Now, this is one of the more traditional problems. We can't really do this on Desmos, except we could check our answer once we're all finished. All right, we just need to remember y equals mx plus b. Okay, remember that your m is your slope. And remember that your b is your y-intercept. Okay, so even though we can't just type this into Desmos and work our magic here, we still should be able to figure this out fairly easily. Okay, so if we look at the slope, we need 2 nice points. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit for you. No, it's not going to let me. Oh, yep, there it goes. Okay, so if we look at 2 nice points here for our slope, here's a nice point, and here is a nice point. Okay, so we go up 2 over 1. So our slope should be 2 over 1. We go in the positive direction for y and the positive direction for x, and that's just going to equal 2. So our slope should be 2. Okay? For our y-intercept is where we touch the y-axis, which is here. It looks like our y-intercept is 3. Y-intercept is 3. So our equation should be y equals 2 x plus 3. Okay? And this is what we should type into our box here. That's going to be the equation of the line. Actually, I lied. We don't need y equals x plus 3. We just need to type in 2x plus 3 because they already have the f of x there. Okay? So, again, we couldn't use Desmos to get our answer, but we could use Desmos to check our answer. So if we type y equals 2x plus 3, we should see that we touch at negative 1.5, which we do. We touch at 3, which we do. And we have the same slope up 2 over 1. Okay? Number 10. Write the equation of line that is perpendicular to the line graph below that passes through point B. Okay, so this one is tricky. We got to remember a couple different things. So point B here, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2. This is point 4, negative 2. Okay, and we pass through this line. We want it to be perpendicular. So if you think y equals mx plus b, we need a slope, and then we can talk about the word perpendicular. So our slope here, let's use blue. We've been using blue for a while. We have 2 nice points here. We'll go up 1 over 1 for our slope. It gives us a slope of 1. Okay, and so we need a perpendicular. Remember, perpendicular is opposite reciprocal. Perpendicular is opposite reciprocal slope. So we're going to take this 1, we're going to flip it upside down, which is just 1, and we're going to change the sign to make it negative 1. Okay, so just briefly, if you forget what perpendicular is, if we had a slope of 2/3, for example, perpendicular would be opposite reciprocal. We'd flip this upside down, so 3 over 2. We change the sign, we'd make it negative. All right, so these two would have opposite reciprocal slopes or perpendicular slopes. So m equals 1, the opposite reciprocal is just negative 1. Okay, and we have this point here, 4, negative 2. So this might be the most math that we might have to remember for this question. Most of them so far we've just used Desmos or maybe had to remember 1 or 2 things, but this is a lot of math so far. So remember, if we have a point and a slope, okay, so if you remember the slope-intercept form, I'm sorry, not slope-intercept, point-slope form, you get y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Okay, remember that y1 and x1 are the point here, and m is the slope. So when we plug these in, we are going to get y minus y1, so -2, equals m, which is -1, parentheses x minus x1, which is 4. Okay, so this technically is the equation of the line that passes through that line and is perpendicular to this point. It does not tell us to type it in slope-intercept form like we did here. I would guess that they probably would want it in slope-intercept form, but it doesn't say it, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Very simple thing you could do is you could change this minus negative to a positive. But yeah, we're just going to leave it like that because all it says is an equation of a line. So we'll stop there and hope that that would be acceptable. Lots of things we did there. We had to remember perpendicular slopes, point slope form, and we needed to plug it in. All right. Really quickly, 11 and 12. This should be really easy compared to 9 and 10. Which graph represents this equation? Just go ahead and type this into Desmos and match up the graph. And number 12, which is the equation of the line graphed? So you have 6 choices here. It does say you must select all correct equations, so type each of these into Desmos and see which ones are the same line.